What's up YouTube, Dale here from Zephyr, and today, because you've got the budget Purrely profile way above 50 likes in the first 24 hours, I thought I'd bring you a test and combo video so you can see how this deck operates and your ideal outcome. So, with all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more upcoming content. The idea behind Purrely is going first, you want to ideally get into your Purrely Noir, which will be your ideal kind of towers monster that can perform loads of forms of interruption during your opponent's turn, backed up with some possible other quick play spells, or just have loads of quick play spells attached that is going to give you the ability to draw multiple cards, leading you into your hand traps to disrupt your opponent even further. Going second, you can utilise Purrely Happiness as well as cards like Zeus in order to gain you as much resource as possible to lead you either into an OTK or ideally for the backup to constantly keep breaking your opponent's board. So with all of that out of the way, our first test stand of 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, we got a decent amount of hand traps to kind of cause our opponent issues, and we do have at least access to one Purrely card. Now, unfortunately, this one makes you choose a monster on the field. It still can be utilised because you do have Draw and Ogre, but at this exact moment in time, with a hand like this, you are having to resort to using Pot of Prosperity. That being said, opening up Delicious Memory is like one of the ideal quick plays to have because this can then lead you into your other Purrelys. And when you get normal Purrely on the board, it can basically rank into an XYZ by revealing a Purrely quick play in your hand that lists it on the text. So you've got Purrely Pretty Memory gets you into Beauty, Happy Memory gets you into Happiness, Plump is Delicious Memory, and Noir is Sleepy Memory. So at this exact moment in time, we've got access to Plump if we do get a Purrely monster off the top of this. And this one's actually really kind of cool because this gives you a quick effect if it has Delicious Memory attached to it as material to banish, to attach 2 spells and traps in the graveyard to this card as material, which just helps you get it to a rank 5 a lot quicker, which is really, really important, especially when you're utilizing a card like Pot of Prosperity. So we're going to activate Prosperity, you're going to do 6. Now on the scenario of here, it really comes down to what you feel you are facing. Like some of the ones you could consider would be like your Protector if you don't feel you need to worry about skill drain or any type of floodgates. You could risk 1 Noir if you wanted to. You've got a Zeus you could risk if you don't feel you're going to need that on the Crackback. Downard, Anima and Fuko. You've got a couple of options to consider. So we'll go for the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now, unless I'm desperately worried about a hand trap, I'm not going to take the Cross out, I'm not going to take Ash, and I'm not going to take Ogre, and I'm probably not going to take the Field Spell. The Field Spell is better when you have more set up. So for those of you unfamiliar on this one, your opponent cannot target Purrely monsters you control with card effects, which is great if I already had a Purrely monster in the hand. Turn they are special summoned. If a face-up Purrely XYZ you control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you get to special on a level 1 Purrely monster from the deck or graveyard. And then during the end phase, you get to target a Purrely XYZ on the field and attach a Purrely quick play from the deck to the graveyard to it as material. Now, obviously, because I don't already have the ability to set any of that up, that's not going to be that useful for me. The Purrely Pretty Memory, so again, all of these pretty much have a secondary effect. So this one, each player gains 1,000 life points, and then you get to apply the following effect to discard a card and special summon a level 1 Purrely from the deck. A Purrely XYZ that has this card as material gains the following effect, that once per turn you can send one other card you control to the graveyard to target a card your opponent controls and attach it to this card as material, which is obviously great, but the idea is that you're probably going to want to utilize that as the discard. Yes, of course, it can help you get into your Beauty, and your Beauty is another one of the ideal kind of disruptors. But like I said, your ideal goal is to get you into the Noir, which Plump is probably going to be more equipped to do. I could very easily take the Purrely, but the issue with the Purrely is it lets you add a Purrely card from the deck to the hand except a quick play. So honestly, you're only going to be searching out the trap card or the original Purrely, and in doing so, you need to maintain your normal summon. So it's not going to be as effective for you. I'm just trying to explain to you my thought process as to why I wouldn't take any of those 5 cards and why you're going to go for the Purrely Pretty Memory. So on this one, what we'll do is we'll activate the Purrely Pretty Memory because I want to keep the Delicious Memory back. We're going to activate this. Each player is going to gain 1,000 life points, and then we're going to be able to discard a card. And if we do, we're going to special summon a level 1 Purrely monster from the deck. So the one I'm going to want to summon is the Purrely, and I'm going to be discarding the Pot of Prosperity. Now this one on normal or special, you get to add a Purrely card from the deck to the hand except a quick play, which is absolutely fine because the one you're going to want to ultimately lead yourself into is going to be my friend Purrely. Because it's not a quick play, it's a continuous. On top of that as well, this now has the ability to target a quick play spell card in your grave, or a Purrely quick play spell card to be specific, to special summon an XYZ monster from the extra deck that mentions this card as material, mentions that card. So basically this will allow me to rank up into the beauty. So now I've got the best of everything. We're going to activate my friend Purrely. We're going to pay 500. We're going to reveal 3 Purrely cards from the deck. And the 3 that I'm going to reveal will be 3 Purrelys, because I'm going to want that to be my normal summon. And we're going to try and make our way into a Delicious, which will be Plump, which will allow us to equip basically the 2 spell cards in the graveyard. And that's going to help us get into our Purrely Noir. And then the Purrely will allow us to get us into the beauty as well. So you're ending your board on a pretty decent disruptive board, which is really nice. So we'll add the Purrely, we'll normal summon the Purrely, we'll use this effect to excavate the top 3. More times than not you're going to whiff, but sometimes great success if you don't, like Sleepy Memory. There we go. So we're going to add the Sleepy Memory. Sometimes it just works, sometimes it doesn't, annoyingly. Part and part of it. So you get to add an excavated Purrely spell trap, doesn't restrict it unlike Purrely, but then it also has the ability that once per turn during the main phase, you get to reveal a Purrely quick play in the hand, especially when an XYZ monster from your extra deck, then mention that card by using it as material. Now, what we're going to be able to do here is Sleeping Memory is great, because Sleeping Memory will get you into a Noir. Now, Noir, you get to discard a card, target a card your opponent controls, or up to 2 if it has Purrely Sleeping Memory as material, return them to the hand. Up to 3 times per turn when you activate a Purrely quick play spell card, quick effect, you get to attach that card on the field as material, and you get to set a Purrely trap directly from the deck. Now, if I want to access the trap, I'm going to go for Sleeping Memory, but I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to be using Sleeping Memory later on. So we're going to activate the Purrely, we're going to reveal the Delicious Memory. This is going to put us into Plump. Now, the best thing about Plump is it can now start to attach spells from the graveyard and spells from when we're activating the Purrely monsters up to 3 times per turn. So we use Plump's effect, target up to 2 spells in the graveyard and attach them to this card as material. So straight away this is now going to give it the ability to go up to a 3 material, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to get this to a 5 material. So we're now going to activate the Delicious Memory. You're going to choose 1 monster on the field until the end of the next turn. It can't be destroyed by battle, so we're going to choose Plump. We'll then be able to chain Plump's effect as long as your opponent doesn't have a response to memory, because when you activate a Purrely quick play spell card, you get to attach this card to you get to attach it to Plump as material. Now you still have the ability, if you want to discard a card to special summon a Purrely. I don't think we need to be completely honest with you. So we're now just going to be able to equip it. Now it is an optional to use that ability to discard and summon, so you don't have to all the time. So what you're trying to work here, just so you understand, is we're using Plump in order to get us into our Purrely Noir, and then we're going to be utilising the Purrely in order to get us to either into the Noir or get us into the Beauty, which is ideally what we're going to be working towards. So we're going to activate the Sleeping Memory. The next battle or effect damage you take this turn will become 0, and then again we can discard and summon, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to use Plump to equip it as material. So now what we've got is we do have the secondary effects of both of these, that a Purrely XYZ monster that has this card as material gains the following effect of 300 attack and defense for each material attached to it. So at the moment, when we do rank up into the Purrely Noir, it will gain 6 by 3. And then on top of that as well, it also has the ability that during your opponent's standby phase, we get to draw 1 card. So what we'll do here is we'll now rank this up into the Purrely Noir. And this is going to give us the ability to have a mini towers. Now the reason on the way that you can go into the Purrely Noir, so this card has the ability that you allow to XYZ summon it using a rank 2 monster you control with 5 or more materials, and you transfer the materials to it. This card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects while it has 5 or more materials, which it does, and you get to detach 2 materials from this card to target a card your opponent controls or in their graveyard and place it on the bottom of the deck. And it's a quick effect as long as it has a level 1 Purrely as material, which it does. So basically what this is giving you is during your opponent's turn, it is going to be pretty much unaffected. But as long as you make sure that the last material that you detach is the Purrely, you'll have the ability to use this effect 3 times, because it's not a hard once per turn. And I learned that out the hard way. So you're going to be putting both of those together, and then what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to use the Purrely's effect, that during the main phase you get to target a Purrely quick play spell card in the graveyard to special summon an XYZ from the extra deck that mentions that card by using this card you control as material, and if you do, you attach that spell to the summoned monster. It's treated as an XYZ summon, so you're going to be able to reattach the memory from the graveyard, and because we have Beauty, you can now go into Beauty. So ultimately what you're ending your turn on, keeping in mind you now have the My Friend Purrely still in rotation, that if a face-up XYZ you control leaves the field, or a Purrely XYZ leaves the field because of an opponent's card, even during a damage step, you get to add up to 3 Purrely quick plays with different names from the graveyard. And at the moment, if these hit the graveyard, you're going to be able to add back Pretty, Delicious and Sleepy, which is crazy. Your Beauty has the ability to target an effect monster your opponent controls and negate its effects until the end of the turn, and it's a quick effect if it has the Pretty Purrely memory as material. Up to 3 times per turn, again, when you activate a Purrely quick play spell card, you get to attach it to this card as material, and then you get to change the battle position of one monster your opponent controls. So ultimately what you're going to want to do here is you're going to end your turn. Now at end of your turn here, you are sitting on a pretty setup. Because during your opponent's standby phase, you're going to be able to use the ability of the Purrely Sleepy Memory to draw you 1 card. Okay, so we've got a follow-up for the next turn. Your Purrely Noir is gaining 6, 12, 18. So it's got an 18 buff on attack, which makes it a 29. And there's got an 18 buff on defense. And your Noir has the ability that you get to send one other card you control to the graveyard to target a card your opponent throws and attach it to this card as material. So if this survives, you're going to be able to send the My Friend Purrely, which after you've paid your 500, revealed and added, send one and then attach one. So if they do put anything on the board, your Purrely's going to be able to attach it. You've got a triple bounce off the back of the Purrely Noir with the attack stat boost, so you need to be careful that when you're starting to detach, you're going to start losing those abilities. And then as it comes back to you, your opponent still needs to be drolled. You can still get ogred. And then if all else fails, you're going to have your Pretty Memory plus your draw of the top deck, and you're going to be able to build the board back up from there. So you can kind of see where we're trying to go here. This is like your ideal XYZ end board for a defensive option, in my opinion. Just because of the, like, your Purrely is the one you want to go for. If you can get 2 Purrely Noirs on the board, then by all means go for 2. And that just means you don't instantly lose to a Kaiju, which does suck. So what we'll do now is we'll now start going second. So now I've shown you Beauty and the Purrely Noir. I can start showing you the Happiness loop, which is just absolutely disgusting because it just constantly keeps attacking and constantly keeps adding, which is really annoying. So we're going to shuffle this up. We're going to draw our hand of 6, and then you can see how the deck can be utilised going second. So after another decent shuffle and a good old cut, oh, hello, our starting hand of 6 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these have probably been burnt. 6, Imperm. And we'll also burn the Imperm. So we've triple hand trapped our opponent. Like maybe you chose to draw early and keep hold of the Ash. This can then be your discard fodder off of either of these. It really is up to you. But the idea is if I see hand traps in my opening hand, you're going to be utilising them to weaken your opponent's end board. And when we've got something like this, again, we're in a good position. We've got the Happy Memory, which is going to give us the ability to pretty much add or special summon with a discard, which is something you might want to consider holding on to. You can very easily normal summon the Purrely. This obviously won't allow you to play through hand traps exactly as well, but this will allow you to add the My Friend Purrely, and then you're going to be adding another quick play, which ultimately ends up being your discard. We've got the Happy Memory, which is what we ideally want to have because it's going to get you into happiness. And like I said, for those of you unfamiliar with happiness, this is your ideal one because this one is at the end of the damage step if it battles. All it needs to do is battle. So as long as it's stronger than something else or your opponent's put it in defense, you're in a good stead. So you get to add a Purrely card from the deck to the hand, and if this card has a Purrely Happy Memory as material, you get to halve the attack of one face-up monster your opponent controls on the field up to 3 times per turn. When you activate a Purrely Quick Play spell card, quick effect, you get to attach this card on the field to that card, attach that card to this card as material, and then return a spell trap your opponent controls. Now, the Happy Memory, while it is a material of happiness, this card can attack monsters a number of times each battle phase up to the number of Purrely Happy Memories attached to it +1. So, if this ultimately ends up having the Happy Memory, it gets to attack twice. When it attacks twice, you're then going to be able to add an additional Purrely card from the deck to the hand. If you then add another Happy Memory and activate said Happy Memory, you can then use Happiness to attach it and it can attack again, searching you out another card. So ultimately what you're doing is this is your one during the battle phase of how you can constantly keep getting this as to have material to then end up on an Purrely Noir or a Fat Stack Zeus. So, how are we going to play this one out? Well, very easily. You can choose to go for the normal summon of the Purrely, which isn't the best way of doing it, but other than that, you're going to have to discard one of your cards, which is something you probably don't want to do. So we'll start off with normal summoning the Purrely. We'll use this ability to add a Purrely card that is not a quick play, so that will lead you to your My Friend Purrely. You're then going to use the My Friend Purrely, paying the 500 to reveal 3 Purrelys in the deck. Now, ultimately, you've got what you need, so I would probably reveal Happy Memory. You could reveal a Happy, a Pretty, and a Sleepy, but I think your Sleepy is probably going to be more effective for you because if you're able to get into the Noir, you'll be able to bounce some cards back, which is, again, it's just going to help you weaken your opponent's board to make it a little bit more effective for you. So we'll reveal these. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, we're going to get a sleepy memory added to the hand, which is absolutely fine. Which is kind of what we wanted. So now what you're going to want to do here is your Purrely now sets you up with the discard. Because when you're activating one of these to discard it to the graveyard, that's absolutely fine. Unless you feel you need to actually use its activated effect, the Purrely will then give you the ability to attach in the graveyard. Now, I don't feel that Delicious is that reliant. Like I've said, the ones that we want to be relying on and have them as materials for our XYZs is Happy and Sleepy. So Sleepy, I'm more happy to have discarded. It doesn't make much of a difference which one you do discard. You're just going to be able to activate to rank up into Happiness and Noir. So if you need to clear cards off before you go into Happiness, then you're going to want to use that one first. So what I mean by this is we're going to activate Delicious. We're going to discard the Sleepy. So we choose a monster on the field until the end of the next turn. It can't be destroyed by battle. And then we're going to discard to summon. So this one's then going to get us our Purrely from the deck. We're going to shuffle this up. Purrely's then going to use its ability to excavate the top 3. So 1, 2, 3, probably going to whiff it. We do whiff it. Double prosperity, like what the hell? Anyway, so we've done that, which is absolutely fine. You're still holding back your Purrely Happy Memory. You're now going to use your Purrely. The Purrely will be ranking itself up with the Sleepy Memory, and this is going to get you into your Purrely Noir. The reason you're going to go for Noir as you're going second is you get to discard a card to target a card your opponent controls, or up to 2 if it has Purrely Sleepy Memory as material, and you return that card or cards to the hand. Up to 3 times per turn when you activate a Purrely Quick Play, again you can attach it to this card as material if you entirely want to. Now keep in mind, you're going to want to use the Purrely effect first before you do that, because you're going to use the Purrely effect first to reveal it, to put the Purrely Happiness to the board. Then what you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to activate the Happy Memory. We're probably 1 card short. I'm trying to think throughout a play if I can get one, but this one needs to battle first. So we've not got the ability to discard, which is absolutely fine, but you get to choose a card on the field until the end of the next turn. The first time it will be destroyed by card effect, it is not destroyed. So we're then going to be using this. We're going to use the Purrely effect to equip the Happy Memory. Would Delicious have been better? Maybe Delicious might have been a better one than Sleepy. Did I have enough spells in the grave? I probably do, actually. So maybe we don't go for the Noir and the Sleepy. Maybe we just go, okay, Purrely, Delicious, and equip the Plump. Just because I thought, yeah, I missed the fact of the discard off of the Purrely Noir. Otherwise, that would have been really nice as a double bounce. But the ability now has is you've got the Plump. The Plump can attach 2. Obviously, it could have been 2 from your opponent's graveyard, which is absolutely fine. Probably put Plump in defense, maybe. Yeah, it doesn't need to attack, because now what you're going to be able to do is you're going to go battle phase. You're going to attack with the Purrely Happiness. At the start, at the end of the damage step, if it battles, you get to add a Purrely card from the deck to the hand. So you can then add any of the quick plays. So we'll go for Pretty Memory. Still in the battle phase, we're going to activate... no, what am I talking about? Add Happy Memory. Duh. Add Happy Memory. This is where it just gets crazy. Is you just deck fin for all of your Happy Memories. Add Happy Memory. Still in the battle phase. It's a quick effect. Activate this. Use the ability of this one 3 times per turn. Mad. Attach a Happy. So we now get to attack 2 more times with a Happiness. So we're going to attack. We're going to add a Happy. Wherever it may be. Still in the battle phase, activate Happy. This is the 3rd time that this has done this. You can't do it anymore, but you can still attack 2 more times. So it attacks 1 more time. Add a Pretty. Attack 1 more time. Add... do I want the field spell? I don't think I need the field spell, to be honest. I suppose we add Yeep, just so we've got it. You've got 4 materials on the Happiness. We can now activate the Pretty Memory. Activating the Pretty Memory will then allow us to equip now. Plump's got a nice little quick effect to steal spells and traps in the grave, so we'll probably go with that. So you can go into Happiness, we can set the Yeep, and then what you can do is you can rank up your Purrely Happiness into a Noir. Now, maybe I needed to get another Sleepy into rotation rather than Pretty. I mean, Pretty Memory will let me send and bounce. Let me send this and bounce, but maybe I don't need to do that. Let's just go for the draws then. Just to get us back some hand resource. Let's go for the 2nd Sleepy. Let's get that into rotation. So, wait, I've done it the wrong way around. Activate Sleepy, put it onto Plump, there we go. And then May phase 2, Noir goes into Plump. There we go. It's got Delicious, which is absolutely fine because it's going to gain the defense stats. It's got 2 Sleepy, so it's going to get the draws. There we go. We've got the Yeep ready to go. So target a Purrely XYZ, you try a special summon from the extra deck 1 Purrely XYZ monster with a different rank by using that target as material, but return it to the extra deck during the end phase of the next turn. It's treated as an XYZ summon. You banish this card from the graveyard, target 3 Purrely monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, and you can only activate once per turn. So we are pretty much stacked there. We're just 1 material short on this, but I mean, having the X Purrely is fine because you still have the gauge, you just wouldn't get the draws off of it. So we've also got Happiness. I suppose we go Happiness. Detach material from this card, negate the effect of all face-on monsters you prone to the end of the turn. You cannot activate cards' effects. No, okay, we're going to go for a second X Purrely. So you'd go to your opponent's turn. You could Zeus this if you wanted to. You'd have like a 2-cent Zeus, which is really kind of cool. But this one's only unaffected by your opponent's activate effect, so you just Zeus your own board. You'd have to use the Purrely first and then Zeus. So you got to decide on that one. Other than that, basically what I'm saying is during your opponent's turn, standby phase, we're going to be able to use Noir to draw 2 because we've got 2 Sleepies during the standby phase. The X Purrely Noir has got the ability to bounce bounce 3 times. And then you can use the Yeep to go into another X Purrely, and this has the ability to bounce twice. So you've got 5 bounces. You've got a Ghost Ogre your opponent needs to play through. They've already had an Imperm, a Droll, and an Ash. So it's pretty crazy. And then you can use the Purrely Yeep to regain resource. And if this survives, this is obviously going to be a fat stack. This has the ability that it just gets to attack a number of times. So this is going to be able to attack 4 times, which is absolutely insane. So crazy, crazy, crazy. Not that you should need to get to the attack 4 times. Like, obviously, it's only 1100 because it doesn't have Delicious Memory. But then that's when you would activate My Friend Purrely, trying to dig for your Delicious Memory, trying to work your way into it. And then you also still have the ability of activating your Pretty Memory. And if either of these get sent via your opponent's card effects, you're going to use My Friend Purrely to basically recycle everything you now have in rotation, which is mental. Anyway, I hope this is giving you an insight into the deck, how it works, the roots around it. It does take a little bit of thinking, and the more and more you play it, the more and more you'll get to understand it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as always, stay safe and happy dueling.